Hello, my name is Cortney Singleton, and it is my pleasure to present to you Yoga for Everyone. So, this is a yoga class for all levels. You can modify as much as you need to. If you know more advanced variations, you are more than welcome to explore that as well. So, enjoy yourself, and let's begin. Just a little adjusting here. Okay, so let us begin seated on our mat. Let us just come to a tall spine, sitting up on your mat. Come to a comfortable position. And let's just roll the shoulders up and back and down, taking an inhale breath through the nose and an exhale. Take an inhale breath through your nose and exhale. Let us just close our eyes for this moment and just take this time to decompress, to relax the mind, the body, and just really clear space to be very present and calm and in the moment so that we really can focus on the connection of our mind and body and soul. Slow, deep breath in and exhale. Your hands can be on your knees. They can be down, closed position. They can be open. This gesture means we are ready to receive. This gesture indicates that we're just going inward a little bit more. So as we open our eyes, let's take an inhale breath and raise the arms high. Inhale. And on your exhale, just draw your hands right back into the heart center. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, a deep breath in. And exhale, draw your hands into the heart center. And inhale a breath. And exhale, hands to heart center. Allow your thumbs to graze the breastbone. The elbows lift away from the body. And we set a clear intention for this practice. And your intention can be a word that comes to mind, a positive thought, a prayer, a devotion, maybe something that extends beyond yourself. But perhaps there's something that you are working on, you'd like to manifest more of in your life. The yoga mat is a perfect platform to do that. So we just take a few moments to acknowledge our breathing, the inhale and the exhale, our intention, our purpose, and being very present in this moment. Let's bring our hand to the belly and the other hand to the heart. So this breathing in the upper part of the chest, we reserve for the fight or flight. So if you're in high altitude or when we're working very hard cardiovascularly, or we get excited or frightened, that's when we go into the fight or flight and we breathe in. That short, shallow breath into the chest. In yoga, we breathe deeper into the lower abdomen. So we can practice this by just breathing into the bottom hand right over the navel. So let's close our eyes and just focus on bringing the breath down towards the lower hand, feeling the expansion of the abdominal muscles and the contraction as we draw in and get taller in our spine and our posture. Now there is a fine line. It's important that we slow down our breath. And when we start to breathe a little bit deeper, maybe deeper than we're used to breathing, we don't want to become lightheaded. So just be very gentle and kind to yourself and your breath. Just feeling, being, breathing. In this process, I imagine a very overwhelming sense of gratitude for the opportunity to practice, for the opportunity to acknowledge our breath and our place in this space, for our health and our well-being, and the opportunity to join into a yoga practice today from wherever you are. And all you need is yourself. And if you have a yoga mat, great. If you have a towel, great. Just somewhere that you can be is all you really need. And so continuing on, let's move our hands down to our knees once again. And just to release the lower back, let's lean forward and begin to circle around. Holding on to the knees, rounding as you go to the back, lean forward as you go to the front. Allow your head to move with you as you circle the body. Breathing in and breathing out. And in some of these very gentle movements, it's nice to close the eyes and just allow your focus to go more inward towards yourself. And really feel this movement. Let's go the opposite direction. Same thing, we lean forward into the hips. If at any time you need to change your position to accommodate your hips or your knees, feel free. If you have tightness in your hips or your knees, you might want to sit up on a pillow or create a little bolster for yourself. If you have a block, you might want to use it. It will be easier on your hips and your knees. Let's find our way all the way back to the center once again, sitting tall, and we'll change the position of the legs, placing the opposite leg in front. We return to our tall spine and a deep breath in and an exhale. Let's take a side bend, reaching out to the side, letting the ear relax down to the shoulder, and we follow through, reaching the arm up and over, bringing the bicep closer to the ear. We want to lift under the ribs and feel the space and the expansion of the side ribs, breathing into the intercostals, releasing any tension in your neck. Come up through the center, sitting tall, breathing in, and exhale. Other side, we're reaching up and over, softening the ear to the shoulder, lengthening over bicep to the ear, and again, lifting through the side ribs, rooting down through the sit bones. Inhale and exhale. Let's come back up through the center, tall spine and a breath. Open the palms, inhale, lift and look up. Interlace your hands and press through your palms and stretch through the forearms, the wrists. Draw your belly in and the arms back and let your chin go down to your chest. Bring your hands behind your head, cradling your head, and allow your head to rest in your hands. Open the elbows wide and lift the sternum. Support your head. Breathe in. And exhale, let the arms come down by your side. So extend one leg out to the side. We keep the other leg in. And we want to root down into that sit bone and into that bent knee leg so that that's kind of our anchor. Take the opposite hand to the inside of the calf and gently press to help lock the shoulder into the shoulder joint, into the shoulder girdle. And we continue to extend a long line out towards the fingertips, finding a bit of a twist and an opening, looking towards your extended arm and fingertips. Keep the toes very active. And then from here, once again, soften the ear to the shoulder and take the arm over your head, bicep towards the ear. Still remaining very upright in your posture, not sinking, not even sinking into the side, but actually lifting up and over. Come back through the center, sitting tall, and let's take a counter twist and look over the shoulder. Bring your chin towards your right shoulder or your left, whichever side you are on. And just make sure that when we change, you go to the opposite side. Let's come back through the center and change. So extend the opposite leg. This is your anchor, the folded knee. We take the hand to the inside, we activate our toes, we align our shoulders, and then we extend outward towards the fingertips. Inhale, breathe in, and exhale, side bending, going into a little deeper side bend, now involving the legs a little bit more. The ear softens to the shoulders, and we inhale a deep breath. And exhale, we take it into our counter twist, looking over the shoulder. Inhale a deep breath. Twist and exhale. And return. Bring the soles of your feet together and give yourself some room. So you may want to back up a little bit so that your legs take the shape of a diamond. Let's take an inhale breath and reach up, and on your exhale, we come through the center, lifting up, threading the arms through to our toes, where we release the knees and allow your head to fold forward towards your heels. Releasing the upper back, neck, and shoulders. Use your hands to draw your belly button forward. Breathe in. And exhale. This is really for your lower back. This is also for the upper back, neck, and shoulders. Where do you feel tightness in your body? This is where you breathe more deeply, more concentrated. Inhale, breath. And exhale. And so unravel the arms out from under. And then from here, let's turn onto the mat long ways, if you aren't already. And so from here, take your fingertips just over the edges of your mat and the feet flat. Draw your shoulders back and lift your hips into a tabletop position, extending your head back and your hips up. We press up through the hips and thigh bones. This is an excellent stretch for the shoulders, a chest and heart opening pose. Inhale, deep breath. And exhale. Let's hold for one more breath. Inhale. And exhale. We pull the hips back towards our hands and extend our legs long. Let's inhale, the arms reach. And on your exhale, hinge forward, even if you need to bend your knees. And fold forward towards your toes. If you can't reach your toes, then bring your hands underneath your knees with a nice bend in the knees. So you still get the benefit of forward bending in your lower back and your hamstrings. And we breathe in and breathe out. Inhale and exhale. And then from here, as we release, let's transition out to our hands and to our knees in the best way possible for you. Let's move to hands and knees for spinal flexion and extension. The hands press firmly into the mat. The knees are beneath the hips. Relax your toes. Now round your back, pull the stomach in, and then lengthen. Head towards the tailbone. Broaden the collarbones. Round out, tailbone goes down. Engage your core muscles. Relax your head heavy towards your fingertips. And then lengthen, breathing in and out. And round out through the spine. Inhale, pressing the hands firmly into the floor, into the mat. The tailbone goes down. And lengthen out. So this particular exercise is really helpful for releasing tension in your back, in your upper back, in your shoulders, for lengthening, and really warming up the body. This is also very calming for the central nervous system. Round your back on an inhale. And let's find our way to neutral spine position. Now from here, extend your right leg and your left arm. We call this bird dog. Breath in and breath out. We draw in and up through the rib cage. We reach fingertips to the toes. This is an excellent posture for strengthening your core and your back muscles. Inhale, deep breath, reaching fingertips to toes, equally energetically, and release back down. And now we change, extending the right arm and the left leg. Fingertips to toes, reaching long, breath in. On your exhale, we lift through the belly button and the rib cage, energetically reaching from front to the back. Active fingertips, active toes. Deep breath in, lower belly. And then exhale, let's return. From here, shift over onto one side. I'm shifting to my left side. For modified side plank, shifting over to your hand and over to your knee, we reach and lift up through the extended fingertips. Once again, lifting through the side body and extending. Inhale, breath. Let's bring the hand just behind the head for support. You can stay here or you have the option to extend the leg. And we lower down. Reach the arm over the head as we come back down to our hands and knees, rounding the back and softening. Neutral spine position, and shift to the other side, shifting to the knee into the hand and extending through the top arm. Inhale. On the exhale, hand goes behind the head for support, where you can stay or extend and lift the leg. Working on your balance, strength, breath in and breath out, and release. Reaching over and returning to your hands and your knees. So let's take some pressure off of the hands and lower down to your forearms. Come down to the forearms and take your hands to either side of the elbows for a measurement of just how far to open the elbows. Press down into your forearms, your palms. Draw in through your ribs. Tuck your toes and lift your hips. We call this dolphin pose. And this is a great way for us to stretch and strengthen our shoulders. This is also a great way to stretch and strengthen our legs. Inhale and exhale. So let's bend the knees to a hover. Stretch your toes, the bottoms of your feet. And inhale, lift your hips up, soften through your heels. And repeat, high onto the toes, lower down to the knees. And lift your hips and soften down through your heels. This is also really helpful for bringing more synovial fluid into the ankles, into the toes, into the joints of your knees and your hips. So you might hear some little snaps and crackles and pops. Exhale. Let's pause here, softening the heart towards the mat. Relax your head. You always can keep a slight bend in your knees. Sit bones are lifting. I know you're feeling it in your shoulders. Take an inhale breath and exhale. Open the knees wide. Relax your toes. Child's pose. So 2 versions of child's pose. If you have any limitations in your hips or your knees, keep your hips elevated as you lengthen your arms and lower your head. You can also sit back over the heels if that is agreeable with your hips and your knees. Be sure to open the knees to give yourself plenty of space to relax your lower back and soften your belly and relax either your head or one ear to the mat. Child's pose is a pose of surrender. This is an excellent pose to release tension in your entire body as well as your lower back. You may have heard the term getting grounded, and there's no better way to get truly grounded than to put the head down on the ground. So in the midst of chaos, this is a very helpful pose for calming the entire central nervous system, for calming anxiety and nerves and stress, and decompressing the back. Let's settle in and take a few deep breaths. If you'd like, you can move your hips a little bit from side to settle in a little more into your hips and your knees. Relax your head, neck, and shoulders. Find a slight bend in your elbows so there's no strain whatsoever. And let's just breathe together. Inhale. Exhale. Soft belly, inhale. And exhale. For your lower back, you can use your hands to push back gently. Again, if it's too much on your knees, keep your hips elevated. Let's take 2 more deep breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Let's rise up and then slide your left arm under, left shoulder to the mat for a twist. And so, for example, I have a little bit of a knee injury. So this variation is a little more comfortable for my knees to have the hips slightly elevated. Some of us just don't have knees and ankles that happen to bend so deeply. So we work with what we have. However, if it does feel good for you, you can continue to use that right hand to gently press yourself back. Now let's change. Opposite shoulder down to the mat, taking a twist. An inhale breath. And an exhale. And a deep breath in, opening up the shoulder, the anterior deltoid area, the back of the shoulder. Breath in and breath out. And then from here, let's round ourselves back into this cat stretch and soften down through cow. Always keeping a fluid movement and breath. Now from here, let's spider up onto our fingertips, making a little more space by pulling in and up. We step the right foot forward, allowing the hips to lunge forward and down. Use your hands for support as much as you need to. Now from here, we rise up. We come into what we call Anjaneyasana, where we reach the arms up on an inhale breath. And on your exhale, we draw our hands back down through the heart and into a twist, looking over the right shoulder. Notice how I have the legs extended long for the most opening of the hip flexors. So we twist, we breathe, inhale, and exhale. This particular pose also takes the pressure off of the top of the knee. And that's usually a preferred variation. Inhale. On your exhale, lower your hands down. Pull the stomach in and very carefully shift back into what we call Hanumanasana prep. What that means is a half split prep. This is for your hamstring. Be very careful to protect the insertion point by pushing into your heel and activating the muscles of your leg. You can stay up on your fingertips. Relax your head down. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Slide the foot back in the best way that you can. Let's place our palms flat. Make sure that you're pressing into your entire hand, your thumbs, your index fingers, your middle fingers. This is what we call the triad of the hands. Make sure to put more pressure on your thumb and index finger so we don't put excess pressure on the pinky side and the wrist. Let's tuck the toes and lift the hips, coming into our full downward facing dog, just like we did in our dolphin pose, only now the arms are extended. And once again, high to the toes and lower the knees to a hover. And we lift the hips and soften through the heels. Relax your head heavy. Inhale and exhale, knees to hover. And inhale, we lift and soften down through the heels. Inhale, rise and lower the knees all the way. And now round your back, create some space to bring our left foot forward. We allow the hips to come forward and down. We follow through with the arms. Inhale, reaching up and back into Anjaneyasana. And we exhale into our twist, looking over the left shoulder. Always work within your means. Make modifications where you need to, so you always practice safely. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale. Hands down, and we shift back to Hanumanasana prep pose. Very carefully straightening the leg, maybe even keeping a slight bend in the knee so not to overstretch the hamstring. Pull the stomach away from the thigh, press the tailbone down, protecting the hamstring insertion point. Breath in and breath out. Inhale. Exhale, shift forward, place the hands in the best way that you can. Slide the left foot back. Tuck your toes. Remember to position your hands. You can look for the L's of your hands. Index fingers point forward, and we lift the hips into downward facing dog, allowing the head to hang heavy. Let's breathe in and out. Separate your feet a little wider than your hips and walk back to your toes. Bend your knees and catch your opposite elbows in ragdoll pose. You can hold on to your elbows. You can bring your arms behind your legs. But just remember to let gravity take over and relax your head. Turn your head from right to left. And then from here, we lower the hands and we walk forward to downward dog and lower the knees. Breath in and breath out. Relax your toes. And now we let the hips roll forward. At the same time, we lower the body all the way down to the mat. Relax your toes and telescope the top of the head forward. Take a breath in and exhale, rise up into cobra pose. Keep the legs relaxed. Take an inhale breath, look over your left shoulder and over your right shoulder and round yourself right back up into your cat stretch. And then from here, walk the knees forward. And in your best way, let's return to a seated pose on your mat. Sitting up very tall, extend your legs. Make sure you have some room behind you as you bring your hips forward. And let's use our core muscles to hold this pose. And if you'd like to really challenge yourself, then float your feet. And if you really want to challenge, extend your legs. This is called boat pose. You can hold the legs as needed or just reach and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We lower the feet and we slowly return all the way down to the mat. Relax your arms by your side. You may need to reposition slightly and bring your feet in a little bit closer to your bottom. Press down into the arms and roll up through your hips, pressing into your hips and thigh bones into bridge pose. Take a deep breath in and exhale. This is a great pose for toning and strengthening the hamstrings and the glutes. Inhale And exhale from your shoulders, vertebra by vertebra. Lower yourself all the way down. And then from here, draw your knees into the chest, reaching up and wrapping the arms around the knees or one knee at a time. Inhale. Let's open the knees a little bit more. And then from here, hold on to your feet for happy baby as we press the hips and the sacral area down. Lower your left foot down to the mat and take your right ankle to your thigh and gently release down. This is a supine pigeon pose. You can stay here or you can thread the hands through to bring legs closer to the body. Take an inhale breath. Exhale. So if you have tightness in your lower back and hips, this is a great pose to start with. And we return to the mat and we just simply change legs, placing the opposite ankle on top of the thigh. Activate your toes as you press the knee away and draw your legs in towards the body the best that you can. Stay relaxed in your shoulders. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Pull the legs to you. Inhale and exhale. Lower down. And then from here, the arms come by your side. Use your core muscles to lift the legs and extend both legs to the ceiling. This is called waterfall pose. If you know yoga, you're more than welcome to take your legs up and over your head into plow pose or shoulder stand. But this is the most restorative version. This allows us to extend our legs to recirculate the blood, to bring more oxygen to the brain, and to relax the body. Waterfall pose. If you suffer from restless legs, you might want to try actually using a wall in your home and place your legs up the wall and hold this pose for a few minutes before you go to bed. Let's breathe in. And then on your exhale, tabletop. Tabletop means aligning your knees over your hips. Let's take the arms wide and lower the knees over to the left side for a spinal twist and allow the palms to open and the shoulders to soften. And we take a very deep breath in and an exhale out. Inhale. Exhale, we use our core strength to come through the center, tabletop position. And we lower the knees slowly to the right, and we open the arms, and we release into our spinal twist, where we take a deep breath in, and an exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Once again, we come through the center, only this time we draw the arms in and the palms open as our feet make contact. Extend your left leg and your right leg. And this is our final pose called corpse pose or shavasana. And it means just that. We remain simply still and quiet and calm. We return to our most natural breath in and breath out, relinquishing any kind of control. We allow our thoughts to be easy and gentle, acknowledging those thoughts like leaves on a river. And this is where we take rest and we rejuvenate the body before we leave the mat. This is where everything that we've practiced today truly sinks in. I encourage you to stay and take rest for as long as you can. And when you are ready to end your practice, very gently roll to your right side when you are ready, coming into a fetal position, taking a final resting pose, allowing the burdens of the heart to softly fall. And we relax the head and use the strength of our arms to lift. And we return once again to the center of our mat for a seated position, a comfortable tall seat. Take your hand and rest your forehead in your head, or your head in your hand. Release the muscles in your neck and use the strength of your arm and of your hand to lift and realign your cervical spine. And eventually we float the hands away. And from here, we draw our hands to the heart center. It has been a pleasure. I wish you all a beautiful and blessed day. May the long-time sun shine upon you. May all love surround you. And may the pure light within you guide your way on. Breath in and exhale. The divine in me salutes the divine in you. Namaste. I thank you kindly for joining me. My name is Cortney Singleton. I teach at Orlando Power Yoga. I'm an acupuncturist at the Salt Room in downtown Orlando. If I can help you or serve in any way, I hope to hear from you. Many blessings.